breaking news as of yesterday. In Australia, we have the Australian Football League, which is the equivalent of the NFL in your country. The Australian Football League has a team, the Adelaide Crows. The Adelaide Crows, club director, legitimate position, he's been sacked because he was refused a medical exemption against these experimental vaccines. It's a big story. He was stood down. The AFL's mandate, the Australian Football League's COVID mandate, is in full effect. The club says it's deeply troubling to think that one of our officials would be so vaccine hesitant. It's contrary to what we're trying to achieve as a nation and as a competition. So I tweeted that gentleman. He saw my tweet. And I said to him, because I had reached out to Nick earlier because there were rumblings about what was happening. And I said, Nick, you're going to be in trouble here, mate. You're setting yourself up. But I tweeted across to him, first they came for the support staff, but he didn't care because he was a director and not support staff. And then they came for the players and their families and their coaches. But Nick didn't care because he wasn't a player. He wasn't a coach. He wasn't family. And then they came for the cheer squads. And then they came for the junior players, the little Oz kickers, kids that run out to the ground at halftime. And he said nothing. And then they came for you, the director. And now there's no one left to stand up for you. Thanks, Nick. And I sent it to him privately, and he won't hear this conversation, so that's why I think I can divulge it. But the point there was somebody that had an option 6 months ago to take a stand for his club, for his organisation. And his club was either going to have to step away and they were going to call the AFL's bluff, the league's bluff, and say, well, we're not playing games, bugger you. He didn't do that. He allowed, because they had players that didn't want to get it. Those players were told they'd be delisted, they'd be got rid of, so they lose their $1 million contracts. Lots of those players are Indigenous guys. They need to play footy like you guys have. African Americans need to play NBA because it gets their family out of the hood.
Now, that's an interesting correlation.